The first step is to ask what problem we face and research background information. We use paper as well as internet sources to help get a well-rounded perspective of the issue.
The second step is to brainstorm possible pathways for solution. We used our knowledge from step 1 to come up with a practical and efficient solution.
The third part of the design cycle is to plan. During this part of the cycle, we gathered the materials needed for the creation of concrete. We gathered Portland cement, soil, foam, wire, a bucket, and various tools.
The fourth step of the design cycle is create. We decided to create different concrete samples and see which mixtures were most efficient. We made concrete samples using soil, foam, and sand as aggregate to test them out. Our conclusion was that the soil sample was the lightest, but only using soil as an aggregate led to disintegration of the sample when placed in water. We decided that we needed another aggregate, mixed with the soil and cement, such as foam pieces.
The last step in the design cycle is improve. We identified the problems and fixed them. Now all we have left to do is go through the cycle again and finalize our project.
After improving on our original designs, we decided to create the final project. We brought the new material needed, a foam base, that we molded into a canoe shape. We plan to build our final project in the garage of one of our team members who lives nearby.
We created 3 canoes, and from those picked our final product. We mixed concrete with the soil and foam aggregate and placed the concrete around our molds. The mold we originally thought was going to be the best turned out to be too wide, so we had to go with our second choice. This turned out well, except for the fact that the canoe was off balance. After deciding on the canoe we were going to use, we still needed to sand it down and balance it in order to maximize the weight it would hold. We mixed more concrete and added this to the lighter side of the canoe. We then went back through the design cycle and decided our canoe was complete. All that was left to do was paint, accessorize, and win. Woohoo!
The challenges that our team faced included finding the necessary materials, finding a location for the construction of our canoe, the dimensions of the canoe, holes in the concrete once it dried, and the canoe being off balance because of one side being heavier than the other.
Our project did really well at Design Day. We took first place!
Our advice for up-and-coming freshmen looking to try their hand at making a concrete float encompasses several aspects of the design cycle. First, start your project early. Assume the worst will happen and give yourself time to compensate for it. Secondly, plan ahead. Set realistic deadlines that reflect how much work you know you can get done. Finally, communicate well with your team. Their cooperation is key to success and as a group. Make sure to plan weekly meetings to discuss how the project is going along and what action needs to be taken that week. What would we do different? There's not really much that we'd change. We would have made sure the thickness of the sides of the canoe were even, maybe run some more tests on the canoes, and generally run a tighter ship. But we feel that the results show that overall, we did a satisfactory job.